Hey, how you doing, YouTube? This is Darth Vicious, and this is my spoiler-filled review of Episode 3 of Season 3 of Star Wars Rebels. This was the Antilles extraction. I know this video is already 11 days late. I do apologize. Got bogged down with a few things, so I got a little behind.
Gagging on with it.
But anyway, in this video, I will give you my overall spoiler-filled thoughts on the episode. Also, I'll be giving my pros with spoilers as well as cons with spoilers. If you watched the episode, which I'm sure by now, 11 days after it's been out, you already have, be sure to leave your spoiler-filled comments in the comment section below. Also, if you watched the episode and there are things you noticed as pro or con, leave those in the comment section below. All that in mind, as I mentioned last Saturday, last Saturday, this episode was amazing. It answered some questions, but left a few more questions that I want to see answered going forward. This was by far the best episode of Rebels I have ever seen. This episode should have been an hour long. After watching this episode for a second time, my opinions on this episode haven't changed. Saying that, I hope that the season continues to get better. I know this in-depth spoiler review is over a week late, as I made mention of. I lost track of time, got involved in other projects, and of course, my pros and cons from this episode are still the same. Let's get into the details. Sabine was the main protagonist in this episode. She went undercover as an Imperial pilot cadet, and of course at one point she was an actual Imperial cadet. She was on the inside to get Wedge and bring him over to the rebellion, and of course she used her knowledge of Imperial protocol to her advantage. The Ghost Crew. They had their part in the mission as well. Kanan and Ezra, of course, were on a rebel frigate and had to execute the mission twice. The first attempt didn't go quite so well, but the second time they actually completed the mission by docking a damaged TIE bomber to their ship. Agent Callus was in this episode, his first episode of the season, and it was good to see the famed Rebel Hunter. And of course, he ended up being one of the main heroes in this episode. I will get to that shortly. Wedge. It was good to see Wedge. But it was different seeing him in Imperial black. It was strange. But, of course, getting Wedge to join the rebellion, as we all know and love him, it was good to see him brought into the rebellion the way he was. Of course, the mission didn't go exactly as planned, but the result was the same. With that in mind, Wedge brought along a friend who originally was supposed to be two friends, but two of them were killed during the episode. So he brought his friend Hobbies with him from the Imperial Academy. Agent Callus helping the defection. Apparently he is the new fulcrum. And he helped Sabine, Wedge, and Hobbies escape Imperial incarceration. Those were the pros. The cons: Imperial pilots killed a lot of Rebel pilots at the beginning of the episode. Several Rebel A-Wings were destroyed at the beginning of the mission. All the pilots were killed in the initial stages of the mission, and a Rebel transport was not destroyed. It was badly damaged. Governor Price was in her third straight episode, and I swear to God, she is annoying. I do not like the character at all. She was overseeing the elite pilot training. She was in charge of the academy and trying to make sure there was no disloyalty in the ranks. And of course, she temporarily stopped the defection, but she got hers in a fight with Sabine, got her butt kicked, and was knocked out by the torture device. So that was a good thing. Wedge, like I said before, being an Imperial Black, it was just weird. It was a shock to the system in a negative way. But he was a bit of a hard ass during his tenure as an Imperial Cadet. So that was kind of a good thing. Sabine, dressed in Imperial Black, was odd. I was not used to seeing that. I was used to seeing her in her usual colorful Mandalorian armor, but this was part of her cover. During a simulation, she shot down several Rebel Y-Wings, and it was just odd to see her doing that. But she had to maintain perfect cover until the mission was found out. As I made mention, Ezra and Kanan had to attempt their mission to rescue Wedge, Sabine, and Hobbies twice. First time they were forced to abort the mission and retreat to save their ship. As I made mention earlier, they would later return to get Sabine, Wedge, and Hobbies and get them out of harm's way. So, with that in mind, as I mentioned last Saturday when I did the spoiler-free review, I was looking forward to the progression of this story arc. It's going to be a slow burn. This episode really made me enjoy Rebels so much more. Finally, we are seeing the strength of the regular soldier, and of course the Force was held in the background and was not the focal point of this episode. Lack of Darth Vader, the Emperor, and Maul was evidence of that. Kanan and Ezra being background characters was evidence of that as well. No Thrawn, no big deal. No Maul, that was fine. This episode was amazing without them. So, having said all that, I want to thank every one of you who views my videos. You guys are awesome. You guys are my Brotherhood of the Force, my Jedi allies and Sith friends. Your support is amazing. The views are creeping up, which makes me ecstatic. The likes I have gotten are much appreciated. The dislikes I have gotten have made me strive to improve my content. Please continue to give your feedback. It helps me to gauge where I am. You guys in the YouTube Star Wars community are amazing. We are all bound together by our love of that galaxy far, far away. And of course, this has been another spoiler-filled review of Star Wars Rebels Season 3. This has been the spoiler-filled review for the Antilles extraction. Make sure to leave a comment. Spoilers are open. Make sure to hit the subscribe button. And make sure to tell your friends about Darth Vicious. Make sure to share this video all over YouTube. You can follow me on Twitter at Alan216Dempsey. You can also follow me on Facebook under my name, Alan Dempsey. Thanks for watching this video. May the Force shroud you in darkness always. Have a great day. This is Darth Vicious saying, I'm out. Have a good one, and may the Force protect you in all its dark glory.